Hello seekers, welcome to Punneits Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Something is happening now, and something is happening in the sign of Aries, and this is actually good. What is happening? Uh, See, when you are considering conjunction between two planets in one zodiac sign, uh, naturally, when one planet is in a zodiac sign, it is going to affect the entire zodiac. But imagine like this. Say you have lit a fire in a fireplace, say in an open ground. The more closer you are to the fire, the greater will be the heat experienced by you. The farther you go away, the heat is less and less experienced. And after a certain distance, there is no heat. It doesn't matter whether you are standing at distance x or at a distance y, but heat is not felt by you. That means the field of effect is no longer there. So any force or any phenomena will have a certain range under which it will perform its so-called action, whatever it is designed for. And the more closer you go to the source, the greater will be the effect felt by you. Same is with the planet. Whenever a planet enters a zodiac sign, say when it enters around 1 degree, the effect felt within 10 degrees and even in the previous zodiac will be very high. But imagine a planet is placed at 1 degree in a zodiac, and then there is another planet placed at 29 degrees in the zodiac sign, same zodiac. What will be the interaction? They are affecting zodiac, but maybe they are not affecting each other. Now it will totally depend on the transit of planets on top of these two planets. Say Jupiter and Mercury in one zodiac sign. Jupiter at 1 degree, Mercury at 29 degrees. Obviously their mutual interaction is next to none, but they are affecting the zodiac sign. Say, let's say they are in the sign of Leo. So both Jupiter will affect Leo, Mercury will affect Leo. So Leo as a zodiac and the house in which they are placed, say, let's say they are placed in the 4th house. So 4th house will be affected as well as the Leo zodiac sign will be affected. Jupiter and Mercury will also have a very limited interaction. But imagine when Jupiter is placed at 1 degree and Mercury is placed at 7 degrees. Now they are coming very close to each other. Now they are going to impact each other. Now understand like this. Let's say you have a fire and there's a bonfire, but then there is maybe a gasoline drum placed 100 meters away. It doesn't matter. Bring that gasoline drum within a distance of a meter. Don't you think the chance of explosion will exponentially multiply? And maybe there will be an interaction. So this is how two things, two reactive agents, when come close to each other will react, but when they are far away, they won't. And whenever you are seeing a conjunction, you will have to see the conjunction should be within 10 degrees in order for them to influence each other. And at max 15 degrees, beyond 15 degrees, even the combustion does not happen. Planets who are beyond 15-16 degrees to each other, say let's say if you go beyond 15-16 degrees from the sun, the planet is no longer in combust. Combustion is a direct way of understanding. It's like the observational way of understanding the interaction between two planets. When a planet comes under the field of effect, they start influencing each other. Combustion, the planet goes invisible. That is like a live example by which you can understand why it is said that a planet which is between 10 degrees or maximum like 15 degrees, will have a greater chance of interacting. And therefore, in that case, you will have to see their interaction as a combined interaction and as a combined field of effect and how they will produce a result in someone's chart. If a planet as important as Jupiter goes beyond 10 degrees from any other planet, Jupiter will have a greater influence, that's for sure. But if some planet is having an influence on Jupiter, and then it goes beyond 10 degrees, Jupiter gets kind of free from the influence of that planet, in spite of it being in the same zodiac sign. They will then interact with the zodiac itself, they will interact with the bhava itself. I'm not saying that their mutual interaction will vanish, but it will be reduced. I won't say that you have to apply Newton's law of gravity, but what does that law says? Gmm by r squared. So if you see, it is divided by r squared. The gravitational force between two objects get reduced exponentially in the order of whole square, 1 by r square, if the distance increases. So if the distance is 1, force is 1. If the distance is 2, force becomes 1/4. If the distance is 3, force becomes 1/9. So see how quickly it reduces the power, the mutual interaction as they move far ahead. Now, don't quote me that I am applying Newton's law between these planets. No, I am not doing that. It is for an example. Newton's law is something which is applicable for heavenly bodies, for Earth heavy masses like stars and planets, and this is something that we can see and observe in physics, real physical world. Whereas come to astrology, it's more of a mathematical model using physical world, but it is a mathematical model trying to interpret the physical world in its own language. Astrology has its own language. Now, when the planets start separating, you have to understand that their interaction will become reduced, and now what's happening is that Rahu and Jupiter's interaction is getting reduced. This can be termed as the kind of effective end of Guru Chandal, because they are 10 degrees away now. It is going to happen on 7th of July. The same date, Venus will cross to the sign of Leo, coming in trine with this Rahu and Jupiter. Because when Venus moves to Leo, it becomes 5th from the Rahu and Jupiter's position. So you can understand that this combination of planetary movement is now accompanied by the effective dilution of the Guru Chandal effect on the sign of Aries, which is good for everyone, because Aries is the first house of the Kal Purush. And when Aries becomes the first house of the Kal Purush, it starts affecting the head and mind of entire humanity. It permeates through everyone, plus it affects the Aries in your horoscope wherever it is. Now, Rahu and Jupiter are going on a separate path. Rahu is in Ashwini Nakshatra, Guru is in Bharani Nakshatra. They were interacting very strongly, but now they are beyond 10 degrees. Even in September, 4th of September, when Jupiter will become retrograde and fall back to the earlier degrees of Aries, Rahu would have reached towards the early stages of Aries zodiac sign, like first 2 degrees of Aries, and on 30th of October, Rahu will leave Aries to Pisces. Rahu is forever retrograde. That means they are not going to come once again below 10 degrees, and therefore this effective Guru Chandal ends for good. At least for next few years, we are not going to experience a Rahu Jupiter Guru Chandal, and this is a kind of a relief. This opens up the horizon of knowledge. This opens up the clarity of thought. This brings Jupiter into realization. So the Gyan, the knowledge, the Vidya will all come into picture. The truth will come out, and you will see that you will realize, you will feel better, you will feel much stronger in life, especially if you are in Jupiter Mahadasha, Jupiter Antardasha, you are born in Jupiter Lagna, Jupiter Rashi, Jupiter Nakshatra. If your Mahadasha Lord is in Jupiter's Nakshatra, if Jupiter is influencing Moon, Sun, or your Mahadasha Lord, you will experience this Jupiterian energy much more, and this will give much needed relief, and for everyone. So it is kind of a celebration, I will say. What should you do? Number one, read a lot of books. Starting from today, ensure that you will try to indulge into a lot of reading. This will also help you reduce the screen time and will give you much more knowledge. In books can be of anything. It can just be a novel. It can just be a storybook, but just give it a read. Sometimes it allows a different perspective of life, because we are living in a world which is highly interactive, but we hardly interact. We are more interested on the sins: jealousy, greed, comparison, vanity. All that greed is what is being the Rahu's world, and now Jupiter is free from that. Now, on the other hand, Rahu in Ashwini will also give lot of, because Rahu is also free, right? Jupiter's influence on Rahu will also get reduced. So Rahu can be Rahu and Jupiter can be Jupiter. And Jupiter in Bharani will give new knowledge, new advancements. I have made a detailed video about Jupiter in Bharani Nakshatra, ascendant wise. You can watch that video. And Rahu in Ashwini will be more about healing. So it kind of increases that healing capacity. So we all can heal ourselves. We all can develop into beings which are better version of ourselves. And to do that, we have to focus more on learning. So basically what I want to say is that this is a golden time for us. Jupiter is now free in Aries zodiac sign. On 30th October, it's like a beginning of a journey, and on 30th of October, Jupiter will be totally free in Aries, therefore aspecting Sagittarius with its full might, with its full power, with its full aspect, which kind of secures the dharma, which kind of gives us an opportunity to be close to God. Now, don't take Rahu as always as a negative force. Rahu and this kind of Jupiter and Rahu placement can be helpful. This can be helpful because we live in the world of Rahu. We live in everything. Everything around us is Rahu, Maya. And we have to use this Maya. You are watching this video on a medium of Rahu. So definitely Rahu is helping us. That is why it is kept as a Navgraha. Now, one thing is to confuse and one thing is to take a test. Rahu is like a test. Rahu will give you a lot of things but will also take away. That is the role of Maya. Why should we even blame Rahu for that? He's designed for that. He's doing according to his own design by the Almighty. And then when Jupiter and Rahu are in such a position, and remember, I'm not just talking about Jupiter and Rahu. See the position of Mars and Venus. They are fifth from this position. Mars, which is the first house, if I keep Jupiter and Rahu in the first house, Mars, which is the ascendant of the Kalpurush, and Venus, which is the seventh house of the Kalpurush, they are in the fifth house. Which means it is the power to learn, it is a power to focus and balance the masculine and the feminine, and this will help us become a complete person within ourselves. Here is a chance for many of us to focus inward, to focus on basically to be one with the cosmos, be one with the surrounding, be in sync, and then learn. And learn and learn and learn as much as you can. And for that, you will have to unlearn a lot of things. It's kind of a new beginning for entire civilization. It is a big transit. At least in my eyes, it is a huge transformation that is going to happen now. This is Aries we are talking about. This happens once every 30-40 years. So definitely this is going to be an opportunity. Forget about where is your Aries, what is Aries going to do, are you an Aries ascendant? That is obviously there, but try to understand the essence of this kind of planetary movement, and we being alive and watching this planetary movement today. That means we are supposed to get this blessing. Chant Purusha Suktam, understand Purusha Suktam, know what is the Kalpurush. Now, don't take Purush as male. Purush is not male. Purush and Prakriti are two fundamental forces or representation of nature itself, of the reality itself. So, Purush is not male. Read about Kalpurush, read different books, and yes, if you're not interested, even in astrology, or maybe you're just coming here to watch because you thought you will get something as a takeaway from this video, fine, read any book, be a student. See, if you are a student at this point of time, student of life, student of circumstance, student of your own karma, you will get the maximum. Right now, Gyan and Karma Yoga chapter of Bhagavad Gita will be most understood if you try to give it a read. This is the time when Saturn is in the 11th house and retrograde in Satbhisha Nakshatra. Try to understand the nakshatras that are playing right now is Bharani, Ashwini, Satbhisha, Magha. Most of them are related to transformation, healing, ability to create something. And this is when you can create a new version of you. Now it is totally up to you. How do you want to take it forward? Ascendant-wise transit analysis are all part of our life. But this is something different happening right now. I hope you will make the best use of it. And if you can pray Vishnu Sahasranam, because it is taking the name of Bhagavan Mahavishnu, the guna and the quality of the God himself, and read Bhagavad Gita, basic things. Nothing better than that. We'll meet you in the next video. Till then, namaste.